I don't know how much mistreatment y'all just expect black women to put up with, but it's about time that black men start seriously reevaluating the way they navigate the world.
Hey beautiful people, how you all doing today? It's your girl Destiny here and welcome back to my channel. How you are doing? Hope you guys are doing great. So today's video, I find this video very interesting, and I have a couple of questions on this video, but let's just get into it. So this video is a video of a black woman who came online to talk about black men and saying that, you know what, black men have to get their act together. Black men have to behave themselves, because that notion, that narrative that they say, okay, black women can call police on black men, that it stop, that they're going to hold black men accountable for their actions, that if a black man messes up, they are going to call the black man out, that the black man is either going to be on a t-shirt or they're going to call the cops on the black man. She went on this rant and I'm just like, okay girl. And I find this conversation very interesting, because I have come to realize that a lot of black men are not held accountable for their actions. And I feel like not all black men, okay, a lot of black men, especially in my society, has been programmed that they could get away with just anything and nothing will happen to them. And for me, I just find what the sister said like very interesting. I feel like this is a conversation that we should have. Let's go hear what the sister has to say, then we'll come back and talk.
I don't know how much mistreatment y'all just expect black women to put up with, but it's about time that black men start seriously reevaluating the way they navigate the world, because black women are no longer subscribing to the belief that we shouldn't call the cops on black men when they hurt us. We're no longer subscribing to the belief that we shouldn't use the law to hold these men accountable for their actions. The next time one of you, we're putting you on a t-shirt, or we're going to call the cops and let them do it, and that's a promise.
Please go down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Love to know what you think about this conversation that this sister has raised down in the comment section. So feel free to share your opinion. But one thing I want to ask is that I'm kind of confused. She said these two things that's going to happen to them. Either they'll be on the shirts or they'll call the cops on them. Please, can someone help me to... I don't know what the shirt means. That's something I'm missing, or I'm just being slow today. Honestly, I don't really know what the shirt means. Like, meaning that you're going to be on the shirt or something. I don't know what that means. Please, my people, help me explain that in the comment section. Okay, please, I'd love to know what that is. So this got a lot of women talking, like a lot of women stitched this video and they were sharing their story and their thought on this conversation. So let's go hear what they have to say. Then I'll come back and share my thoughts.
Because black women are no longer subscribing to the belief that we shouldn't call the cops on black men when they hurt us.
Let me preface this by saying I do not like having to deal with the police in any shape, form, or fashion, okay? But I had no choice when my son's dad took him at 4 months old and would not tell me where he was for 5 hours. And for 3 of those hours, he ignored my texts and my calls, okay? My son was exclusively breastfed, and I did not produce enough milk to just have bottles on bottles on bottles. He had to latch on. When I was asking him where he was, he would not respond. And when finally I said I had to call the police and they will come looking for you if you don't come home with the baby, he said, sorry, wrong number. Let me explain something to you black men, or anybody. You mess with me and mine, anybody can get it. I don't care.
One of you, we're putting you on a t-shirt, or we're going to call the cops and let them do it.
I love this. I love every piece of this. Attention abusive black men. If I don't have my peace, if I don't have patience, I'll call the 5-0. I'll let them do the dirty work. And I won't cry, and I won't mourn you. Fuck around with me, I will not call 5-0. I'll call the coroner. He can come clean you up off this asphalt. Black women, y'all better learn how to handle a gun. You know I love me a bat wrapped in barbed wire now. We're done. Not marching for y'all, not trying to be here to protect y'all no more. Pull a Tory Lanez, pull a Chris Brown, pull an R. Kelly. You know, just make sure you got that plot picked out. Make sure you got that last will and testament handled. Get your mama's black dress ready.
I don't know how much mistreatment y'all just expect black women to put up with, but it's about time.
I definitely feel like this is true. I had to call the police on my own brother. Because he put his hands on me, mushed my head into a wall, and was just enraged and acting crazy towards me. And he told my family, he said, I was wrong for putting my hands on her, but she shouldn't have called the police because of what police do to black men. Well, maybe you should have kept your hands to yourself then. Or maybe you should learn how to control your emotions. I never expected my first encounter with the police to be with my sister. I never expected my brother to put his hands on me. But look at here. You know what I'm saying? Look where we at. The fuck?
I don't know how much mistreatment y'all just expect black women to put up with.
Go back and watch her video. But this is like so real. Like, I remember, like, I would never forget this fucking day. Like, on Christmas morning, my son's dad put his hands on me in front of my son. So, of course, I called the police because you choked me out on Christmas morning. And it's the fact that, like, when I called his mom and told her, like, the aftermath, like, when the police showed up, they took pictures, he ran. It was so stupid. This woman had the nerve to say, why you got the police involved? Black men already have it hard. Your extra black son put his black hands on his black son's black mother in front of him. What are you talking about?
We shouldn't call the cops on black men when they hurt us. We're no longer subscribing to the belief that we shouldn't use the
If y'all didn't watch our video, go back and watch it. But I just want to say this remind me of a relationship I was in back in 2021, well, like late 2020, early 21. It was terrible. One day he elbowed me in my mouth so bad, like my this whole my mouth was bleeding. Like I was spitting blood in the toilet, and I remember sitting in there just crying, like literally just crying my eyes out. The person I am today is very upset at the person I was, but I'm saying this because when y'all in those positions and it feel like you don't have nobody, like I know I have nobody, like I say that because that's what it is. Like I have my little sister, which is my little sister, and then that's it. Like in real life, like, so I have nobody, and I had nobody to show up for me. I had nobody to call or anything like that. When it's like that, call the police, because at that point he doesn't care about your well-being. He doesn't care what happens to you. He's gonna continue to do what he's doing because you haven't called the police. And that's exactly what happened to me. He continued to push me. He continued to hurt me. He continued to break everything that I bought. He continued to do all those things, throw my phone, break my phone, have me locked outside the house with no pants on. He continued to do me all types of wrongs because I did not pick up that phone to call the police. I did not shut that down when I should have. Don't let it go that far. Please don't let it go that far. Never. Not with the physical abuse, not with the mental abuse, not with none of that. No emotional abuse, none of that. Don't ever let it get this far. Ever.
I don't know how much mistreatment y'all just expect black women to put up with, but it's about time.
I'm gonna do a story time. So this is like 2017, 2018. Me and my black coworker we locked up. We were closing. We walk into the train. This is in Soho. We was walking to the C train. This guy outside from a couple blocks away sees us, spots us. He starts following us, trying to get our attention. We say no thank you very politely. Just keep it moving, keep it moving. He keeps following us, harassing us. So we just go into the subway. He follows us onto the subway platform. Follow us. You think you better than us? You think you better than me? You think you can't deserve me? Blah, 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 blah. And then it becomes violent. Then he starts spinning at us and swinging towards us. And then he hit my friend. So I don't know if y'all know, I used to train to do pro wrestling. And my friend, she was 6 foot. You know, my coworker, 5'11", 6 foot. So him doing that was just like not a good idea between the both of us. So she starts like whooping his ass. He's trying to fight her back. So then I come in and I do a double like takedown in the back of his knees and knock him over. And we subdue him and get away from him. You know, he got his lip busted open and everything. We ended up just going on the train platform waiting. It was late at night, like I said, so we were just waiting for the one that it said was gonna come like 5-10 minutes away. We were just waiting. And then we noticed that there's a police precinct in the subway. We look at each other. It was another black guy. My coworker was black. I'm black. We're looking at each other. Should we do this? Like, no, that. He just attacked us. He just assaulted us because we said no. We didn't want to
be with him. It was 10 minutes to the train. We're not going to miss the train. Okay, let's just go. We went inside the precinct and told them what happened. The cops immediately jump up, which is crazy. And I think it's because we were in the the station that had a precinct in it. They jump up fast and then go and try to get him. And now they see he's on the other side of the platform because he sees that we were going to get, reinforcement. We weren't just going to let him assault us because we said no to him. So the cops finally just subdue him, and as they're bringing him over to see if we want to press charges and stuff, we say yes. And then he looks at us and says, "Aren't we all black?" Like he thought that he was just gonna get away with it. Oh, and guess what? The kicker: he was on probation for domestic violence when he did that to us. You're going to jail.
Up, we're putting you on a t-shirt, or we're gonna call the cops and let them do.
I do not disagree with her at all. You fuck up, you ending up on a t-shirt, or you going to jail. And at the same token, now that Riverboat done happen, can we honestly get to the problem of why there's so much division between black men and black women? Because at this particular point in time, the only thing that you can blame it on is the fact that them people did not want us to have unity and community. They wanted to rip our community apart, and they are successfully doing that. It just seems like we are trying to obtain something that wasn't meant for us to be obtained in the first place. I don't know. I just feel like our chakras or some shit is out of line, and we should just center and come together and figure out why all this division is constantly happening. Don't get me wrong. If it comes to that point and it's the decision between me or you, I'ma always pick me. It's also I feel like it's completely ridiculous that we are willing to do that, and if it is necessary.
I don't know how much mistreatment y'all just expect black women to put up with, but it's about time.
So I saw a stitch to this video. I wasn't able to stitch the stitch, so I'm just gonna make my own video. But yes, the girl was pretty much talking about how she had to call the police on her brother because her brother put a pew pew out on her. In 2000 and what year was it? 2020, I want to say. Yeah, 2020, maybe 2019. My brother had this rental property and I moved in. I was a tenant there. I have all of my receipts. I paid everything on time. I was a great tenant. He used to boast about me being such a good tenant because I was so unproblematic. You know what I'm saying? So he decides that after the new year, he decides he wants to sell his house. So he hits me up on a Thursday and says, "Hey, I need you out in 2 days." And I said, fuck no. At the time, I had a 1-bedroom. He was like, "Oh, I'll help you get your own room, and I'll pay for your first month, and I'll even move your stuff with you, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, "No, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to do it. I'm staying." So he's like, "You sure you want to do this?" I said, "Let's do it. Let's do it." Because I know what you can't do. You know what I'm saying? I'm not completely fucking stupid. So, Saturday comes and he's ready. He's there to illegally evict me. And he comes into my apartment and starts trying to move shit around. And I'm like, "No, you can't do that." So I call the police. Police taking forever to come. They're not coming. They're not coming. I live in Philly. They ain't coming. Unless you're a palm-colored person, they're not coming for you. So he ends up putting his hands on me, right? And I call the police again. At this point, I'm frantic, because this motherfucker, he put his hands on me. So police is like, "Oh yeah, we sent somebody out there. They'll be there shortly." No police still came, right? So he leaves, and I hear him walking down the steps, and I'm like, you ain't leaving before the police get here. So I go outside, and I get in front of his car, because I'm like, no, he's gonna wait for the police to get here, because he's gonna pay for what the fuck he did. So he proceeds to run me over with his car. So I was actually he kept inching up and inching up, so I actually hopped on the hood of his car.
Hello.
So yeah, I hopped on the hood of his car. He speeds up and hits the corner. And once he hits the corner, I immediately fell off, right? So I fall off. I took his windshield wipers off with me because that's what I was holding on to. And then I'm walking back to the house, and I turn around and I see that this man parked his car. He's running behind me to come fuck me up again. So I ran in the house, I run into the apartment, I barricade the door with my couch, I called the police again, I told them I was a palm-colored person and that a black male was at my door trying to kill me. Of course, the police showed right up.
Now, like I said, I can prove that I paid my rent on time every time, and I can prove the bruises on my face and my hands came from him. This is the part about growing up in a black household. Even when you can prove yourself, they won't believe you if you're a female. They will always side with the man. And coming from the type of dynamic that I come from, where women were continuously abused sexually, emotionally, physically by men in the family, and no one ever stood up to defend themselves, of course they naturally rallied up against me and labeled me the bad guy because I had chosen to press charges. But that just goes to show you how the black family dynamic is. It's pretty horrible. It's pretty horrible. It's pretty sad. But after that incident, I did hire a lawyer, and I was able to stay in my apartment for 8 months rent-free. And it put me in a better position. And I was actually kind of grateful that he did that to me, because you know what? I've been hit before for free, but this time I actually saved thousands of dollars. So, you know, thank you. And everybody who supported him and who continuously threw my name and dragged my name when I was telling the truth, you can go to hell too. And also.
Because black women are no longer subscribing to the belief that we shouldn't call the cops on black men when they hurt us.
This is good. I want to talk about this because I could think of so many times where I was in a situation where I had to call the cops on a black man and, you know, go to the cops for help because of something, whether it be like assault, or I just felt unsafe in that moment. And I was made to feel guilty for it. I grew up with a very abusive brother, and I could remember calling the cops on him as far as back when I was like 12 years old, and I am 29 now. And I can't even count how many times I had to call the cops on this guy because I was fearful of my life. Like, he just did not know when to stop, and he always took it overboard. Now, fast forward into my adult life, I started dating a guy who I was in a very similar domestic violence situation with. And I just got tired of it, so I started calling the cops. Every time we had a fight, I would call the cops because he just, like, he took it there. Like, he always went too far. And I would be scared for my life. Like, am I even going to survive this fight? And one day he said to me, if you loved me, you would not call the cops on me. And I'm laughing now. I mean, at the time, it sounded ridiculous to me as well. You know, although I was in love and I was, you know, stuck in this really messed up situation. At the time, it sounded so ridiculous to me. I looked at him and I said, if you loved me, you wouldn't hit me. And he just, like the way that it processed in his brain, I don't think he's ever heard anyone make that much sense to him before. And I looked at him and I was like, if you loved me, you wouldn't hit me. I had to repeat myself because I couldn't believe that something clicked for him. And I gave him an ultimatum. And I said, you keep putting your hands on me, I'm going to call the cops every single time. Every single time. I'm going to call the cops as many times as I have to. And I don't care if they haul your ass away and eventually take you away forever. So if you love me, you'll stop hitting me. And it clicked for him. He stopped putting his hands on me. So the physical abuse stopped. But y'all know the rest. The rest never stopped. I'm off that now, though. But anyway, my point is, like, these men are literally made to believe that black women are just supposed to just accept the abuse. And what's sad is that there's always going to be another black woman or another black man defending the abuse once the cops are called. Like they'll be, oh, you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to call the cops. Well, who was going to save me? Were you going to save me? Huh? Were you going to make him stop? Because he could have killed me had I not picked up that phone, had I not ran away and called for help. Like, I probably wouldn't be here right now. And then what would you be saying to him? Would you be saying to him, like, bro, you didn't have to go that far? You know? Black men think that when it comes to black women, we are supposed to just let everything slide. Just let you get away with murder. even if it's murdering us and our children. Start calling the cops on these men. If you have a brother that is constantly abusing you, if you're a young girl, you have a brother who abuses you, your mom. I'm sorry, I hope that they don't take down this video for this. I hope this message reaches somebody and they don't take down my video. But don't worry about that. Protect yourself, defend yourself, because nobody is going to defend you. Call the cops. Do what you have to do so that you can feel safe. And if you're in an abusive relationship, call the cops. It never gets better. Call the cops as many times as you have to. It doesn't matter if he comes back. If he comes back and you forgive him, don't feel guilty to call the cops again. Okay? Because I've been there, and you're going to keep calling, keep calling, and keep calling. It doesn't make sense right now, but one day you're not going to regret that you kept calling, because everything will be there regardless of the outcome. Okay? Protect yourselves. Black women, call the cops. These guys, oh man, I really hope they don't take my video down. But they don't deserve for us to be protecting them, and all they do is mistreat us and abuse us. Call the cops.
Let me know your thought about this video down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this conversation. So feel free to share your opinion. But please keep it respectful. You're on this channel. You don't have to be disrespectful for you to air your opinion. We have amazing conversations. So go ahead, share your opinion. But let's be respectful, okay? Please. Okay. So here's my thought on this situation. I feel like, let me adjust my camera a little bit. Okay. So here's my thought on this conversation. I kind of relate to what most of these women were talking about, most of these black women were talking about, because here in my society is that men are given, it's a thing in my society. Some of you guys don't know, I'm in Nigeria. I have been in Nigeria all my life, so I'm talking about from the Nigeria African society. Men are given so much power that they feel they can do anything. A man will put a hand on his wife, and when the family will, if the wife don't even dare go call the police on her husband because the husband put her hands on her, she will go to family, and even when they're on family trying to sort out the issue, the family will still blame her. The first thing they will ask her is that, what did you say to him that made him to beat you up? Same thing with, if you even go to the extent of involving the police, they'll tell you, why will you call the police on your husband? Same thing with siblings. I have this friend where the son, the brother, decided to raise his hands on his own mother and his other sister. And when that incident happened, I personally, and my friend called me. My friend was the younger sister, and she called me. I was so pissed. I was like, let's go pick him up. Like, I was ready to, like, first, before I continue with this video, I don't support violence, okay? I don't support violence. But if you act like a fool and you are being disrespectful, like, you get it from me. It is what it is. People in my family, they know that you don't mess with me like that. So when my friend called me, I was like, you know what? Oh, this is what happened. I was like, girl, let's pick him up. What did the mother say? What did the other sister say? Oh, let's not involve the police. Let's not touch him. This boy literally kicked his mom and his other sister out of the house. And I told my friend, I was like, you know what? He's going to do it again. The fact that you allowed him to get away with this, putting his hands on his mom and your sister, he's going to do it again. And guess what? Guess what? He did it again. And this time the mom had to involve the police, because this time it was life-threatening. So I feel like these are so many multiple stories that goes on in our society, that the men in our society, especially black men, not all black men, especially black men, they feel and they know they will get away with it because the women, black women, are not allowed to keep them in check, or to protect them. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts about this conversation down in the comment section. Love to know what you think about this conversation. Please don't forget to share this video with somebody that you want to be part of the conversation, because that's what we do here. We have banging conversations. So go ahead and share this video. Please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Smash the like button, because that helps YouTube to push out my content, and that will be you supporting girl. With that all said, guys, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I will see you in my next video.